Achtung, baby. This is the Six Ring.
Nein, sprachen Sie Deutsch.
Guten Tag, mofos. This, again, people, this is where we are. Steer into it, embrace it, own it. We have to have as much fun as we can with the little things as we, well, I won't say circle the drain, but certainly find ourselves in an unusual position. As they said in the final Harry Potter movie, these are dark times. There is no denying it. And we should be having fun, celebrating the fact that the New England Patriots have one of the richest, most fertile, joyous, growing international fan bases. The UK Patriots in London are tremendous. Patriots Deutschland, a fabulous group. They have built the Patriots house over in Frankfurt, Germany. By all accounts, Andy, this should be a time for celebration in Patriots Nation. Instead, now it is resignation in Patriots Nation. There just isn't the same buzz, electricity. There's no din to try to overcome and actually try to talk game because people are celebrating Belichick and the rise of the empire all over again. No, or the First Order. This is the First Order right now. I think that's probably what we can call these version of the Patriots if we're going to borrow from Star Wars here as we kick off the preview edition of Patriots versus Colts on Six Rings and Football Things, sponsored as always by our friends at the FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel, make every moment more. To take advantage of their fabulous promotions and offers, just visit fanduel.com/sixrings and join the party today. You got Fitzy, you got Hart, producer Justin Turpin by our side, and we are previewing Sunday's kickoff game. It'll be the second game of Week 10 of the 2023 season. Patriots hosting the Colts at Waldenstadt in Frankfurt, Germany. Be about 54,000 people, I believe, in total attendance there. There were almost 3 million people in the virtual queue, Andy, to buy tickets when they went on sale several months ago. Now tickets are going for face, which is weird. Of course, we're coming off a game last week where tickets were going for 50% of face value. Our producer can attest to that as well because he went to the game with a bunch of buddies and didn't have to pay very much money. They had a good time, but are the diehards and the loyalists and, the Foxborough faithful seem to be now turning, Andy, to the Foxborough frustrated and some even the Foxborough furious. So, look, we have tried to divine different little nuggets and bits about the rest of the season. What can I hang my hat on? Where can I look for something to be positive about? Who are going to be our warriors, our keepers, our helpers? Who are going to be pieces of the future in Foxborough? And we continue to have difficulty finding these components, pieces, and players. You've got J.C. Jackson now not traveling with the team because of attitude issues and unreliability. Jack Jones is benched because he's late to the team hotel. That he even needs to be at the team hotel in the first place is bananas. Kyle Duggar putting up his Instagram highlights of the week with a song called Set Me Free. Kayshon Boutte not playing last week because he talks out. He puts on Twitter, free me. I mean, is Bill Belichick dealing with a potential mutiny or insurrection at this point, Andy, as they play this game that'll be on NFL Network Sunday with literally millions of eyes the world over watching what used to be the gold standard of football, now basically hanging in the balance?
Losing breeds dysfunction, and dysfunction breeds losing. And the Patriots have that circular logic lifestyle right now. That's who they are. There's dysfunction, there's losing, and it's just going to keep going in circles, like when your computer and that little thing's spinning, and you're like, we gonna change anything here, Mr. Computer? Can we do something positive here? Nope. You need to reboot. You need to press the power button. You need to do the cold kill. And it is what it is. Like, you can start layering things however you want. Like when you describe this season, when we look back at this season and try to just kind of do the autopsy, where did it all go so wrong? You can start in the spring and look at the roster and look at the talent. You can look at leadership. You can look at decisions that were made along the way. Like, I'm a big believer, and I've told you that, like, you hitched your wagon to Jack Jones. I think in the old days, he might have been gone. You hitched your wagon to Trent Brown. I think in the old days, he might have been gone. In the days of trading Jamie Collins or Randy Moss because they were bitching about their contracts.
Right. Good point.
Now, you hitched your wagon. You emboldened them. Once you embolden them, once you make it clear, we need you guys because we're not that talented at cornerback or tackle. And then you go get J.C. Jackson. Yeah, well, you made your bed. Now you're lying in it. And desperation breeds these desperate measures, I guess, from Belichick and his coaches, but there is just no way to see pulling out of this. And I think last week was really sort of the final nail in the coffin for a lot of people. Like, a mediocre team that gave up on their season by trading their best players, and then they have a mediocre quarterback, and they came into your house and dominated you. You were barely in the game, really only but for their mistake on a turnover. That changed everything. I think that was
a penalty, and a really, really, really bad penalty. And if you missed it yesterday, Matt Light was kind enough to join Six Rings, Andy. I know you had a chance to listen in, but Matt Light spoke to how ridiculous the NFL is now, and how that penalty where Mac Jones was sacked cleanly, perfectly, turns into a roughing the passer, extends a drive, gives the Patriots a chance. Like, there's bad football all over the NFL. There's bad officiating all over this land and the entire world and landscape of gridiron, as you have pointed out time and again. And the Patriots, despite being given opportunities to stay in the game with bad Howell picks, horrible calls by the refs, still can't find a way to even tie a freaking game that they were a favorite in. They're 1-4 at home. They're technically home this weekend as well. It'll probably be the last time. I hate to say this. God, this hurts. Goes against every fiber in my being. This is the last time the Patriots will probably hear an entire stadium making joyful noises and cheering them on. As if like this game has consequence and meaning. It's
you know what they won't hear, in my opinion, and they shouldn't hear. So this is obviously an international game, and a lot of these international games have football flair to them, soccer flair to them. Remember the old, I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I don't think there's anybody in Patriot Nation that really could passionately sing that song right now. I don't think they could. Now, They may, because it's not a great team on the other side of the ball. And your guy, I recorded elsewhere on the Six Rings podcast feed with our guy Cadlick. The Cadlicks, we're still trying to call it crucial clashes, even though nothing feels crucial at this time since
just like, how about Cadlick calls him out?
Yeah, Cadlick talks about a couple points about the Patriots. But your guy, I know you're a Gardner Minshew guy. You like him. He's going to decide this game.
Yep.
If he doesn't give you this game, if he doesn't have a bad Gardner Minshew, like, oh, I'm going to throw 3 picks because I'm a whack job today kind of game, you don't win the game. Like, I'm sorry. That's the way they score points. Like, they can put 30 on the board. I believe it's 27 plus in 3 straight games.
Right. They've the former offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles, Andy. Now people are only familiar with him vis-a-vis Rob Gronkowski during the playoffs last year, calling him Shane Spikeman because he thought his name was Spikeman. It's Shane Steichen. He has done a great job earlier in the year when Anthony Richardson got hurt for, I think, the 17th time before his season was drawn to an unfortunate injured reserve close. People were talking about him as a potential coach of the year candidate. He's got this offense. You don't even have Jonathan Taylor really rolling yet.
Nope.
Bill Belichick at his midweek avail before the team traveled to Germany talked about, I think in order, it was a love letter to Matt Gay, because you got to go special teams first, of course. And the guy has cleats in the Hall of Fame at this point now because he kicked 5 50-yard field goals in a game where the Colts, I believe, upset the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken.
They did. Can we stop with the special teams? Just
stop. Tell Bill.
I
don't tell me.
I'm talking to Bill. Like, oh, Chris Board is the best Lion that's ever played.
5 tackles this season for $2.5 million.
What are we doing? Like, I'm so sick of this. And I love our rookies. Like, I think they're doing a good job. I think I couldn't find it in our FanDuel app, but I think the over on 0.5 punts that hit the scoreboard from Bryce Baringer, I would take the over. He's going to hit that stupid scoreboard. In
a heartbeat. If Brendan Schooler showed up on the doorstep, you'd give him a hug and be like, you, the most physically afraid person of contact and intimacy in the world. You'd probably be like, hello, son. I know you love these guys.
I love special teams. I love organized chaos. But Bill, put your effing like diatribes about the other team's special teams away. I'm just so sick of that shtick and that mentality and that signing of guys. And by the way, if you care so much,
highest paid long snapper in the NFL.
Yeah, and he's not good. And if you care so much about special teams, you'd think you'd make them better for your team, because you're losing games because of your special teams making mistakes. So take the special teams, lube it up real nice, and shine it up send it up your candy.
Easy. Yeah, put it for the sun, don't shine.
Yeah, 9.
9. like, okay, one of the positives that it would be nice to have taken away from the season is that you really, really, really do have a kicker of the future. It would have been nice last week to see the game on the line to go to OT, whether the Pats won or lost. I would have loved to have seen Ryland have a chance to like bang home anything between a 40 and a 53 yarder to send the game easy.
I don't know what home you were banging or what we were talking about.
All right.
I don't think we're supposed to talk about. It's a football podcast. By the way, when you talk about your kicker, there's 2 times you talk about your kicker. 2 times.
Okay.
And we're not in one of those times.
Okay.
You talk about your kicker when your team really kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about your kicker when you're playing big games that come down to kicks, like Adam Vinatieri or Justin Tucker.
Harrison Butker, Justin Tucker. They're making.
We're not in that world.
Or a running back for the friggin' Texans who kicks a game-winning field goal last week to keep their suddenly spry wild card hopes alive, which is insane to me, Andy.
Well, I would love to be the Texans right now. They have their quarterback. They have momentum. They're winning games. They seem fun. Remember when the Texans, they were the worst franchise in football like 2 years ago when like the freaking roof was falling in. I remember people thought they were making decisions based on the Bible and like not that there's anything wrong with that to anybody. I don't want to offend anybody.
No, of course. Oh, but they shed themselves of the Easter bee and look what happens.
It's funny how that works.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
Maybe we should shed ourselves of something.
There's a couple of things I think need shedding on the New England Patriots
as well.
Though.
I'm looking great thanks to weei-fm 180.
Okay, yes. Thank you so much.
Hashtag ad.
Yeah, hashtag thank you so much for telling us also in the live read that it's helping you with your IBS as well. That was truly one of the wonderful.
If you had IBS, you'd be happy if your IBS.
And you know what? We all have, everyone in Patriot Nation has IBS, irritable Belichick syndrome right now. And I'm getting sick and tired of it. See what I did right there? It's a pretty good turn of phrase. Thanks very much.
Rid of that.
Yeah. All right. So I agree with you, Andy, your point about if Gardner Minshew. So anyway, I mentioned that he mentioned Matt Gay, talked about the running backs, said they've got a couple of really good receivers. I think we believed he was mentioning Michael Pittman, who'll be a free agent next year.
He's good.
He'd be the best receiver on our team in a heartbeat. Alec Pierce.
You say that every week, though. It's not
but it's true. I mean, it's an old trope and a cliche at this point.
You'd be the best receiver on our team, and I don't even know if you can catch.
I have good hands, but I have the terrible sort, like the calf that's gone on me a couple times. You don't want me out there.
You're an old fool.
Yeah, oh God. The years have caught up to me. Believe me, hard living has caught up to me in a lot of ways. But he didn't really make much mention of Minshew, and you have to wonder if Steichen and Minshew. I think he tongue bathed to their big 3 on defense. Shaq Leonard, DeForest Buckner, and who's the third one you think he mentioned?
Well, see, there's some debate there.
Is it a corner?
I thought he meant Kenny Moore, their veteran corner who has like 3 picks.
Who also be on the Patriots?
Yeah. Why can't we get players like that? Now we're lamenting like good corners that aren't even that great, like a good solid DeForest Buckner. Speaking of the clashes, so is this another game where I have to say Cole Strange? Oh, bad matchup. Oh, you poor baby, you have to block a big defensive lineman over there. I thought that's why I drafted you and that's why I pay you, but it's a bad matchup. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, dude, Cole Strange was drafted to be like a Denver Broncos, pulling and running in a zone trap read kind of thing for Olandis Gary or Mike Anderson, not to be a powerhouse guard in
whose fault is that?
That would be Grow, Belichick, Patricia et
al.
Whoa.
What was the first name you said?
Grow.
No.
Belichick.
Yes, thank you.
Patricia. Okay. That was the second name. I should say that one
we
first.
Didn't start with Pioli and Caserio when there was success. We started with Belichick. And Bill, I don't remember in Nick, something that rhymes with Nick. That means positive and we trust.
Hey, family podcast.
So if we're going to give Bill all the trust and credit back when it was good, don't be starting with Grow. That's what you people do. You people.
He's the one who stands up there and tells me he writes the checks.
He's full of crap. We know it's Bill.
I know. We all know that Belichick and Patricia, or at least we firmly believe that they came up with the idea. It was really mostly Bill, probably too, who wanted to transition to that different style running game. So they go and grab a guard they think will suit it. Then they realize they don't know how to really run that kind of game. So they go back to their old running formation. And now Cole Strange is like, hey,
it's terrible.
This doesn't really work for me.
So that's blame Bill. Like,
yeah.
Who has that?
Well, I can still hear McVay and Snead laughing about that. Cole Strange in the first round. Ha, 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 ha.
He who laughs hardest is the right one. That's the phrase,
No one has ever said that in recorded humanity. Now you're getting just full blown delusional.
Yep.
You know what? Actually, but at the same time, like we talked about before recording, if we're gonna go back to the old times, we may as well just embrace it, steer into it, have fun with it. It doesn't mean if we like laugh at how some of these things have gone, or just raise brow and like grab face like Macaulay Culkin when he puts on the aftershave in Home Alone because things are getting so weird, so dysfunctional, so unpatriot like. It's because we're just trying to. We're not mocking what they accomplished and what they were. It's just that now seems so contradictory to what it used to be, but it's almost become the norm.
And if I am the team, you have nothing to lose. I brought up Denzel in one of those movies where he's got nothing to lose, and that makes him the most dangerous man on the planet, basically. To me, that's who the Patriots should be. Like, just go all in. You got nothing to lose. You're 2-7. When you play it tight to the vest, you lose. Like, sling it. Do whatever.
Hang it high and let it fly. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And I would also say, just get the ball to Demario Douglas. Get the ball to Ramondre Stevenson. Like, for whatever they are, they're your best players. Like, keep it simple. Like, you used to be better when it was like in tough times, go to Edelman and Gronk. Well, now in tough times, go to Stevenson and Demario Douglas. They're your best.
And stop telling Tyquan Thornton to run intricate routes and just say, go fast this way. And Mac's going to, hopefully your hands are better than Rager.
Correct. I'll throw it as far as I can. As you would say, spoiler alert, that's not that far, but I'll throw it as far as I can. You run as fast as you can, and we'll see if they can.
Just in. Mac Jones can't really throw it that. Although, I'm not going to like a poo-poo Mac's arm strength when he doesn't even get a running start and flicks it 56 yards on a dime, sadly, it was the worst spot he could have thrown it on the field because it was to Jalen Rager's hands, or as we now call him, Jalen Ragalore, because he's part Rager, part Algalore, all terrible. Don't throw it to him this week. And you know what? Again, this will be the last time on the Six Rings podcast we will make for the booty call. If Kayshon Boutte is not active this Sunday, Andy, it'll be very early, but we riot. The man needs to be active. He needs to be given a chance. If we're saying hang it high and let it fly, if you're saying, put it all on the table, just like, what do you have to lose? Play free, play. Just why not? And Keith and I were debating this Wednesday night on his show on WEI. We were talking about like, what if Boutte is active and Kayshon Boutte, let's say he gets like 6 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. Now we'll all say like, yes, finally, hooray. He's a keeper. We've got some. Won't there also be a little bit of you that's going to be like, son of a, how come he wasn't active before today, Belichick? You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. But I've been doing that for years. Like, I mean, Mike Onwenu, Bill now says, Mike Onwenu is going to stay at right tackle. Thanks, Bill. We've been telling you for 2 years that Mike Onwenu should be at right tackle. So yes, there will be some of that, but we've learned to deal with those frustrations over the last year plus, because that's part of the whole story of dysfunction and ineptitude in New England. But yeah, Boutte, put him on the field, throw him the damn ball. You have nothing left. Hell, run a reverse where Mac Jones is the lead blocker. I don't care. Put your big ones on the table and try to win a football game. Try to have a little fun.
Yeah. Just make it fun. Make it an enjoyable experience. If you're going to be on the
entertain me.
Yes, entertain me. Let's go back to one of the Hart Foundation principles. Entertain me.
And I can honestly answer, Gladiator, are you not entertained? No, I'm actually
no. I've been.
If you're asking and you want me to be honest, no, I'm not entertained.
And I feel badly because, like, for us at least, like when we do the post-game show and the callers are angry and we have a spirited debate and it gets highly argumentative, that's kind of fun for us because at least there's a little juice in the squeeze. But for like the average fan who bases their Sunday around it and clears their schedule and makes arrangements with deals with the devil and like, oh, honey, or oh, darling, whatever, like I got to do this or that, whatever, like, and then you end up getting that for the product. The ROI on the 2023 Patriots is not substantial or a little disappointing, to say the least. However, we here at Six Rings and Football Things are all about trying to deliver bang for your buck and a little extra value, ROI, as they like to say. And that's what we do each and every week here on the FanDuel Sportsbook Bet of the Week. Just go to fanduel.com/6rings and take advantage of all of their fabulous promotions involving same-game parlays, no sweat first bets, and so much more. FanDuel.com/6rings. All right. So, Andy, you've been on I've done wellish this season. Last week, of course, my Pats fandom, my Foxborough faith was not returned to me accordingly. I thought the Patriots would score more than 17.5 points. They did not. I also picked the Patriots, so I was burned twice. You, however, took the Commanders. And what was your and you took the race to 5, that Washington would be the first to 5. Son of a monkey's nuggets.
Winner, winner.
Wow. Oh, no, don't eat that. Easy. Don't show
that
off.
dub. Gotta do it while I
Andy's
can.
gone full Winston, everybody. This season can go nowhere but up. All right, so let's give you our FanDuel Sportsbook bet of the week. Currently, the Indianapolis Colts as the road team at Waldenstadt in Frankfurt, Germany, playing the New England Patriots. The Patriots, one of their 9 home games this year in front of the Patriots Deutschland fans and an international audience. The Pats are 1.5-point dogs to the Spike Man's Indianapolis Colts and the legend of the Mississippi Mudflap, Gardner Minshew. It is an over-under of 43.5 points. I do believe the game will go over, but for my game pick, give me the Indianapolis Colts covering the Patriots in what I believe may end up being a very entertaining shootout. I just think that the Colts have a little more weaponry on the ground, via the air. They're playing at a higher level, and they're still playing for something this season. They're 4-5. There could be a wild card that comes out of the the AFC South or the AFC West between the Colts, the Texans, or the Chargers. They're playing for something. The Minshew is going to show Belichick why he should have invested in him in the first place as opposed to Mac Jones. Mac will have a good game, but I'll take the Colts covering 1.5. And for my propositional, give me a Zach Moss anytime touchdown plus 170. Had a sneaky good season as the backup now to Jonathan Taylor. He was the featured back for a while. And they give him the rock in the end zone. He's a little bit of one of those Zach Crockett style touchdown vultures that fantasy owners are familiar with. So I'll take Zach Moss plus 170 anytime tutty.
And he has Moss appeal.
What a masterpiece that was.
Oh, nice. Not bad. Okay. Anyway, so I
We're
will
all at a Moss for words right now.
All right. One too many. You got to leave them wanting more. You know that. There's no reason to pick the Patriots. Like, I've reached that point. There's no reason to pick the Patriots. I just, statistically, effort-wise, mistakes versus plays, like analysis, gut, like there is not a single reason to pick the Patriots. So I won't pick the Patriots. Give me the Colts. That's a small number to lay, so I'm more than happy to lay that number 1.5. Can the Patriots win? Obviously. The Colts are not a great team. If they make mistakes and they don't play good football, they can give you this game, but I think they'll have to give you this game. I think your guy, Gardner Minshew, will have to give you this game. So give me the Patriots to lose yet again, and the Colts kind of score points, right? They get, what did I say, 27 plus in 3 straight, over 21 in 8 of 9 games. Give me Colts 27, Patriots 13, sadly.
Oh, my gosh. You think the Patriots will only score 13 points on Sunday?
Yeah, I don't
Wow, I was thinking you were going to go like Colts 27, Pats 23, an entertaining game to down the stretch.
Well, I kind of hope that, because my propositional, as you like to say, and if I paint the picture of them just scoring 1 touchdown and 2 field goals, that puts me right in a tight spot with my prop for an anytime Ramondre Stevenson touchdown. I think you got to go to your guys. He's one of your guys. He had the big run last week. He's been consistently catching the ball pretty well, productively. So you get that double dip. He could catch it and run it in. He could hand it and run it in. It could be short. I don't care. Ramondre, find yourself into the end zone in Germany. Please, I'm begging you. I'm trying to stay positive and picking a guy that I thought might have a great season and isn't having a great season, but he could still do something late to make me feel good.
So at least I think it's going to be an entertaining Spieltag, but the Anstand, according to Andy Hart, is not going to be so pleasant for the Patriots people. So once again, our FanDuel Sportsbook bet of the week here on 6 Rings. Both of us agree that the Colts are likely to win this game and cover the 1.5-point spread. I'll take an Indianapolis Colts touchdown vulture running back Zach Moss, anytime touchdown plus 170. Andy believes Mondre going to find his way back into the 6-point house. He is plus 110 for an anytime touchdown as well. That would be FanDuel.com/6rings to take advantage of all of their fabulous same game parlays, no sweat first bets, and everything else. Andy, obviously we have avoided talking about a topic that we've discussed one and many times. So before we throw to the back half of our preview podcast, where Mike Kadlick was obviously our beat writer extraordinaire for weei.com and a member of the 6 Rings family, had a chance to catch up with Brian Hines, I believe, at Gillette Stadium before the Patriots made their way to Germany. Brian does great work for Pat's propaganda. Let's just both get on the record right now before we throw it to Kadlick's chat with Brian. If the Patriots lose as has been rumored from the Volans and others around town, if the Patriots lose by a lot, like if this is an embarrassment on an international stage, Robert Kraft has already seen his team. They're not going to have a winning record this year. They're not going to be going to the postseason. They're not going to be heard from in the postseason. If the Patriots get embarrassed on Sunday, will change come to Foxborough?
No, I do not envision. And I'm with Matt Light. He told you guys talked about it on that interview. I don't. There's no good can come from getting rid of Bill Belichick now, in my opinion. There's literally no value. Because even if you bump up a couple wins, I think that hurts your future, your positioning, your draft status. You feel how you feel about Gerard Mayo. I don't need end of the year, let's see if he's the guy. I think the Crafts should feel like either he's the guy or he's not, and nothing should change if he gets a month late in the year with this dysfunctional mess of a group. Like, don't throw him to the wolves like that. Don't tarnish Bill's legend any more than it's already been tarnished. Like, take your lumps. I'm sorry. It's 2 months. Take your lumps and then figure out the future when you get to January and make a really smart business move moving forward.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to say that by switching over to Gerard Mayo or Bill O'Brien or anyone else, like at that point, that's going to magically just turn the season around? Or he's going to say, we're going to start all the young guys and we're going to show you who Bill should have been playing this entire time. And it's going to be a different kind of law around here. Like, just finish it up. Everyone knows that, a sweeping change will have to come. There are those who believe that the candidate is already in the house, that the call is going to come from inside Gillette Stadium. There are those who want sweeping change and nothing resembling anything connected to the legacy and lineage of what's gone on for the last 24 years. Who knows? But for now, we know it's going to be awkward. We know it's weird. We know these are very uncomfortable Sunday pants that we have to put on, almost like church clothes for the first time that haven't even been laundered up or anything. But yeah, it's weird. We're just doing the best we can here, folks. And hopefully we have at least an entertaining game to watch and discuss. Don't forget, NFL Sunday here on WEEI will come at you early with Gresh and Cadlick and Arcand and Fourier and Wiggy and a cast of thousands from 7 to 9:30 right up until kickoff. And then right after the game at 12:30 or approximately therein, tune into the Six Rings and Football Things post-game show with Fitzy and a Hat live on WEEI. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to everyone at WEEI, Odyssey, and 2400 Sports for helping us put this together. Good job, Terp, as always. Good job, Jumbo. Fitzy. But hey, we got to where we needed to go, and that's all that counts. And now we throw it to Mike Cadlick with our pal Brian Hines of Pat's Pulpit. I apologize, not Pat's Propaganda, from patspulpit.com with our weekly check-in with a member of the Patriots media cartel. Have a great week, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your time. We will talk to you Sunday live after Pats versus Colts from Waldenstadt in Frankfurt, Germany. Good day. God bless. And as always, go Pats. Take it away, Mike.
All right, everybody. Welcome back into the Six Rings and Football Things podcast here for WEI and for Odyssey Sports. I am Mike Cadlick, and this is the Wednesday Beat Reporter Chat. I am here alongside Pat's Pulpit's Brian Hines. We are going to break down not only the Patriots game coming up in Germany against the Indianapolis Colts, but since it is Wednesday, some news broke this morning on the Patriots front, and that is about not only cornerback J.C. Jackson, but also cornerback Jack Jones. J.C. Jackson will not be taking the trip overseas to Frankfurt with the Patriots, as I think Rappaport called it. Reliability concerns. And Jack Jones, who was at practice, sounds like he will be going. He was also reportedly disciplined and benched last Sunday. Both guys, were apparently late to curfew at the team hotel prior to Saturday. So Brian, first want to get your thoughts on that, and then we will go into some Pats vs. Colts Germany preview. So let's talk about the cornerbacks. What the heck's going on? Is it a concern moving forward? Is it a concern about this whole team moving forward? Is there issues inside? What do you make of it from both a schematics front and then also just, the attitude around the team?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on,
course.
Michael. Thanks.
Yeah, we kind of went into it.
Glad to be here, but yeah, it was interesting, and I mean, kind of the two guys you might expect to have some concerns. Obviously, they started the game on the bench, and I think from a team, off the field first, it's not good to have this stuff at 2-7 when you're worried about you know, how the locker room's going to look, and there's maybe some questions about your head coach's future and some of the guys on this team, and now you have this stuff happening. So I think now that it happened, it was good that they just got him out of the building, right? Like, remove your problems, get them out of here. You have a lot of young guys in this locker room, on this defense. Don't let them see that and be like, oh, they let J.C. Jackson hang around. Maybe I can do that, especially with this team. So it was good to get him out of there. And now, does he come back? Because we have Germany, he's not going to be there. They said he's going to need this reset for the bye week. But if he's this big of a problem, do you really want him back? You got him for nothing, right? Like a late pick swap. You're not paying him any money. He's probably not even going to be here next year because his cap hit's really high, and you know, you can cut him and you don't have to pay him anything. And all it will cost you is moving back 20, 30 spots in the draft. We'll see how it looks. So that's the question now. We can talk about some of the on-the-field stuff, but it's good they got the problem removed, but do they trust him to come back? You know, we hear all these things that he wasn't reliable in Los Angeles now, right? Their GM had to apologize to their cornerbacks for signing this guy and then playing this guy. So do they trust him to come back? I mean, he was here for a cup of coffee and he was already making issues. So does he come back, I think, is the next big question that they'll have to see.
Yeah, so that's the interesting part that I was kind of going to get to, is that story that came out from ESPN, is the fact that Jackson was there. I think he played 13 out of like 22 games that he could have. Was a problem, clearly off the field, didn't give it his all. He ended up being hurt a few times. And that story comes out, ironically enough, right at the same time that things start happening here. So you wonder if they'll look at, I guess, what if people in the room look at what happened in LA and they say, oh, they got rid of him, but we're still keeping him around after the bye week if things get a little hectic continuing on here. You're right about they didn't give up much for him. Again, only here for a cup of coffee. So look, I don't know what they'll do, but I'm interested to see how it goes on the inside, because like you said, if they see that LA gave up on him because of this, but we still stick by him, why are you doing that? Continues to cause more problems. And on top of that, Jack Jones, it was the same issue. He sort of more so like outwardly showed it on the field, sitting on the bench with the towel draped over his head. J.C. Jackson at least, walked the sideline with everybody, but Jack Jones is still here. I'm starting to wonder, and we were talking earlier with a few guys, I wonder if maybe JC was more outwardly spoken about it on the inside, maybe talked back to someone or said something, that he shouldn't have, to perhaps invoke that on his side.
I think, too, to add to that, you see it, you mentioned Jack on the sideline, but there were glimpses of JC like not being checked in on the field when the game was happening. It seemed like 2 or 3 times every week there's a coverage buster. The Commanders' first rushing touchdown, Brian Robinson, like he completely falls for the crack block and just leaves the edge wide open. So I don't know, like something probably happened behind the scenes too, but maybe the play on the field was part of this too, because he didn't mentally look there all the time during the game too.
Well, that's a good point, because before we found out about the discipline today, everyone was like, there was a reason that like it could have been because of their actions, because both of them haven't been too great. So we'll see how that all plays out. Again, heading to Germany, the Pats going there 2-7. I believe the Colts are 3-5. I might have that wrong, but correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, to go over there in Germany, Gardner Minshew, the quarterback for the Colts, in place of rookie Anthony Richardson. Patriots heading there Thursday. I'm not sure when the Colts are heading over, but down a couple guys in the secondary, or at least one guy in the secondary. The Patriots are. The offense still not getting going against really the lowly tanking Commanders last week. No real. I mean, I wish we could sit here and kind of give positives about this team, but right now there's not much to look forward to. You wonder, like you said earlier, Brian, the future of the head coach, the future of the quarterback. The fact that this team has to go all the way overseas before the bye week. Are they going to be checked in? Are they going to be checked out? Kind of curious to get your side, your angle of maybe some matchups to watch this weekend, how you think this one could play out. You can read my matchups tomorrow on weei.com, but for now we're going to get Brian Hines from Pat's Pulpit. So what do you think of the game? Again, Patriots versus Colts this weekend in Germany.
So 4-5 Indianapolis Colts.
4-5,
I just looked it up. Let's give them a win when the wins are hard to get apparently in this
Especially around
league,
here.
as we've seen. So we'll give credit where credit's due, 4 and 5. But you can start right in the secondary. Like, they're going to be down JC, who was brought in to help replace Christian Gonzalez, who I miss so dearly,
So
all
bad.
my heart, so bad. But we'll see
Would
if
the Patriots be 2-7 right now if they still had Christian Gonzalez, Brian?
probably, but at least I would have something to watch every week and smile about and be like, well, there goes Christian Gonzalez again, shutting down Tyreek Hill or another number one receiver. It was nice to have something, to have hope and like look at
To
Christian
watch it,
Gonzalez play every week and be like, hope. And not only that, but a slam dunk first round pick and just be like, that is a guy that you can build around. So they won't have him. They won't have his de facto replacement in J.C. Jackson. So what's this secondary going to look like? You're looking at the injury report right now. I think John Jones is still on there, or he's still limited with a knee, ankle injury. He's been banged up all year. Jack Jones, what's he going to look like from a mental standpoint? So then it's Sean Wade and Miles Bryant. And this is a Colts passing attack with Gardner Minshew that's been pretty decent. I'll give Shane Steichen, their new head coach, some credit. Like, it was a fun offense, especially with Anthony Richardson. Unfortunately, he's hurt. But Gardner's got in there. He's moved the ball. Like, Michael Pittman's a really good receiver. Maybe we'll be seeing him in free agency next offseason.
Yep.
Josh Downs, who I know he's banged up too, but he's been electric. And Isaiah McKenzie, we all know the issues he can cause this offense.
Yeah.
But
Especially
So-
with Miles Bryant getting
yeah, when you mentioned someone like Miles Bryant might take it on a bigger role, so that'll be interesting how they handle the passing attack. And you look at Gardner and you look at Sam Howell last week. How many times was he running around in the pocket, extending plays, and then hitting big plays downfield, right? And watching the Colts on film the last few weeks, like, that's a big thing Gardner Minshew's been able to do. Extend plays, avoid the pass rush, which the Patriots have really struggled with the pass rush without Matt Judon. And if Minshew can do that, if they can't get pressure on him and Minshew can extend plays, you could see something similar unfolding as to what Howell did against them last year. And then they have a really good rushing attack. Jonathan Taylor. Zach Moss is having like a career year, and we saw what Taylor could do in that 21 game firsthand. So he's electric with the ball at all times. So it's going to be another tough one for that Patriots defense, especially if they're down a few guys in that secondary.
All right, so that's Brian's look on the Colts. That's a look at Brian. Again, you can follow Brian on Twitter at I am Brian Hines. Does a lot of great work for Pats Paul, but he's also the host of the Patriots Beat podcast on CLNS Media, so go check that out. Before we let you go, Brian, you talked about the matchups. You talked about some guys to watch in the game. Let me get a final score prediction. How do you think this one turns out in Germany this weekend?
Unfortunately, I can't pick the Patriots anymore. They'll probably, I could see it unfolding kind of like the Washington game last week, where it's close. Maybe they get, Gardner to throw an interception to help the offense there. But I'm like right in that, what was it, 2017 last week? I'll go like 21-17 Colts this week. Unfortunately, the Patriots can't get a win out there in Germany, and then we go to the bye week, and we'll see what happens during the bye week. If anything big wants to happen, that would kind of be the time to do so. Not saying I'm expecting it, but that would be the time to make a move if they wanted to make a move. But yeah, I can't pick this offense right now. It's a grind every week to score 17 points. So I'm going to go with the Colts on this one.
Yeah, you can. I'm with you. You can get my complete final score prediction later on the Six Rings feed. We'll send you to tomorrow's episode with Andy and myself, where we go over all the matchups. But I'm with you. I don't think it's going to be a too hot of a game for the Patriots in Germany, with all these rumors about Bill Belichick's job. I think Albert Breer today reported that the Patriots, some people in the building aren't too pleased with Mac Jones's decision making. So things are really starting to bubble up. It kind of subsided a little bit with the win against the Bills a few weeks ago, but we're right back to it. If you can hear it in our voices, we're sad, we're depressed, we're down on this team. It's not great, but we will continue to have you covered here every single week about this team, win or lose. on the Six Rings and Football Things podcast feed. Thank you for listening. Brian Hines from Pat's Pulpit, thank you for joining me again. Take a look at all of his work. You can follow him on Twitter at I am Brian Hines. Make sure to rate, review, subscribe to the Six Rings and Football Things podcast, and head over to FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Make every moment more. They are the sponsor of this show. So we'll be back later on this week. Again, stay glued and locked into the feed, and we will talk to you soon.